Greetings once again from the friendly confines of our farmhouse. Here I am sitting here. It's not even coffee shop Thursday, and I already have a cup of coffee. I have coffee every day. But it's Wednesday, and I thought it was a good time to take a look at the epistle lesson that's coming up for this Sunday. We're in the letter of First John right through this Easter season. And in some ways, it's a rather important letter, and there's 3 letters of John, and this is the first one that's kind of sets the tone for the other ones as well. And some good stuff in there because this letter is evidently written to a community that's very familiar with the Gospel of John as opposed to the other Gospels. And we've talked about this before. It kind of has the same flavor as the gospel writer John, but yet again, it's different. It's a little bit different, but it's dealing with a definite problem that pervades this community of Jesus followers, these Jesus believers. And it's one that's trying to head off trouble because they seem to be moving into a form of Christianity that later on is going to be considered out of bounds, way out of bounds. It's a Christian Gnosticism, and it's a belief that, well, there's a lot of different components to it, but basically, Jesus was spiritual. He really wasn't human. Okay? He was a spirit, but he didn't really have a real body, all that type of thing. And that is, we just can't go there. So they're dealing with that issue. But we have here in our lesson coming up for this Sunday, it's from 1 John chapter 3, verses 1 through 7, a little neat thing on who we are. I just love this first verse that comes out right at us. See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God. And that is what we are. I mean, right now, after the author of this letter has kind of laid some groundwork about God's love for us, and then started zeroing in on the problem that is persisting in this community. I just love the way he lays it out so well for us. And this is what we can live for and live in, knowing that we are called children of God. We belong to him. And there's something neat about this sentence. In the Greek that it is written in, that first what, see what love the Father has given us, that can be interpreted in the Greek in 2 different ways. It can be interpreted in a quantitative way, look how much love he has for us, and it can be also interpreted in a qualitative way. Wow, just look at that love he has for us. That's amazing. That's incredible. It's a Greek word that goes both ways. And even in our English, you can go both directions with it, although it's a little less clear. But in the Greek, it's very, very pointed. It goes both ways, qualitative and quantitative. How much love he has for us. And that is what we can rest assured of, that love is there for you and for me. And in fact, he's going to be going through that later on as we continue to move on these Sundays of Easter in this letter of John. You're going to see more and more how that love, how that us being called the children of God is being played out in our Christian lives. He goes on to say that, and that is what we are. We are children of God. The reason the world doesn't know us is that it doesn't know him. So that's why we sometimes experience this rejection by the world around us and the people around us. Beloved, we are God's children now, right now. We don't have to wait for it. We are his children right now. And what we will be has hasn't been yet revealed. In other words, we live in the both in the now and the not yet. We are his children, but hey, you have no idea what's coming. And why do you have no idea what's coming? Because even I don't have any idea of what's coming. It's pretty amazing. We just have to hang on there and just wait. We are becoming more and more like him. When he is revealed to us, meaning Jesus, at the last days, we will then see him as he is, and then we're going to be seeing our full glory as well. So, and he goes on to say a little something about sin. Come on, you already talked about sin before. Well, you have to bring that up again. Yep, because he says everyone who commits sin is guilty of lawlessness. Sin is lawlessness. You know that he was revealed to take away sins, and in him there's no sin. No one who abides in him sins. No one who sins has either seen him or known him. Little children, don't let anybody deceive you. Everyone who does what is right is righteous, just as he, meaning Jesus, is righteous. In other words, we already talked about don't fool yourself if you say you're without sin, because we are. We are sinful people. We need to confess our sins. We need to grow more into the image of God. But at the same time, don't kid yourself that, hey, I can just keep on doing whatever I feel like. You know, the Apostle Paul talks a lot about that in some of his letters. You know, you just can't keep going on sinning. No, you make also a conscious effort to live into this love of God, this righteousness of God. And now what we're going to see in the coming weeks is just how this love of God that's so incredible and so amazing that allows us to be called his children, how that is really going to change our lives. The rubber is going to hit the road, in other words. You're going to see how that becomes a reality in our day-to-day lives. So, once again, this is one of those parts of the New Testament that I think sometimes we just kind of skip over, or we really don't take a good, hard look at. We just kind of rip through it and say, yeah, all right, yeah, that's good stuff. We're children of God. He loves us. Wow, what does that mean that we are called his children? What kind of love does he have for us? It's amazing. It's incredible. So let's keep moving through the Gospel of John in the weeks ahead and see just how his love plays out in our lives today. God's blessings be with you, and hopefully the rain lets up pretty soon so we can start drying out and having some more great days like we did last week. But hey, it's middle of April. Remember that whole thing about April showers. They'll bring the Mayflowers. Blessings be with you.